What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday and welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Tips and Tricks. I'm your host, Max, and as always, we've got another great episode lined up for you. Hope everybody's all right coming after a long extended weekend. Today, we're going to be going over motion titles, specifically some cool additional effects that you can do with our motion title library, as well as maybe pointing out some of the new ones that we've added. With that, let me bring on our co-host, Tyler Wall.
What's up, Max? Happy Tuesday once again.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome
How you
back
doing?
to a long weekend.
Yes, sir.
Before we get started, real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as well as hit the bell in the top right corner so you don't miss a beat with any of our newest episodes. We also have our landing page, which we can post in the comments section below, that has all of our Tuesday tips and tricks archived videos, so you can go back and watch something you've missed. With that, back to you, Tyler.
Yeah, so today we're going to go over some tips and tricks on motion titles and just dive a little bit deeper into some creative ways to utilize those. So one of the great things about WeVideo is just how intuitive it is and easy to use, but sometimes we want to get a little bit more in depth, and so we've got a couple cool ways to do that with motion titles today. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into WeVideo, and I'm going to show you guys a couple examples of some cool ways we can modify some of these titles. So let's just preview these first and then go over how to do it, all right? First up, we got this reflection effect. Next is the drop shadow. Play that again.
Again.
And then finally, we're going to show you guys how to actually key out your text so you have that transparency and you can put a nice background behind that. So 3 cool effects. We'll go over motion titles once again, just so you guys have a good understanding of how to use those if you don't already, and just how to customize titles in general. All right. So let's start off with this reflection effect. I'm going to actually delete the reflection, and we can take you through the process start to finish, all right?
Perfect.
So this particular motion title is a good one just because it's got this animation of these lines starting out. But we could use this on any different title that we find. It's going to be the same sort of effect. Now let's just find this one so you guys know which one we're using. It is, oh, I must have passed it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Split title. So that's the name. If you guys want to do the same title, just search for split title. If you have motion graphic titles in your plan, you'll find it. All right, so to do this effect, what we're going to do is, all you have to do is hold shift. Once you have your title the way you like it, so you can customize by double clicking in and
font, the colors, the size.
Correct. So what do you think, Max? Should we change any of these colors? Maybe go with a gray. Change the color here to red.
Red, all right.
And then, as Max said, we can customize the actual text that is there. So Tuesday tips. And let's say we wanted to change the font. It's very easy to do. Just drop down menu here, and you can adjust your font's size. You can even change in the transform tab the size of the actual clip. And we can rotate, which we'll go over in a sec. That's how we're going to create that reflection effect. Okay, so let's save the changes there. once you have this title the way you like it, hold Shift when you're selected and drag that underneath. What that's going to do is create a duplicate, an exact duplicate of our motion title. So this will be our reflection. Double click in to get to your text editor, and you can see there's that duplicate. So how we do this is in the transform tab, I'm going to hit this rotation twice, and voila, got some upside down text. So just adjust this to your liking. We could have a reflection that's a little bit further down, closer up. Let's say our floor is down here, and then just hit Save Changes. Pretty cool. So we've got that reflection going. Now, a great way to sell this effect to make it look even more reflective, let's go ahead and drop the opacity. I think around 30 might look pretty good.
It looks.
Let's try that. That's looking pretty nice.
That's better.
Yeah, so a reflection would probably have an effect like that, a little bit less opacity and maybe even blurred. So if we put a blur, you can see how I got in there. I'm just going to click the text clip, hit our effects tab, and then click blur. We'll apply that, and you can see now it's blurred. So opacity of blur, it's a little bit harder to see. Maybe we bring our opacity up a bit until we get it to our liking. That's looking pretty nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, so like I said, we can use this for any one of these different motion titles. You could use it for a static title. It's a great way to create like an opening bumper or a title for your video and just bring that extra element of professionalism, right?
It's tasteful.
I like it. It's looking pretty crisp.
Cool. So this next one, the shadow, is probably definitely my favorite of the three.
Yeah, okay, so let's go over the next one, drop shadow. We don't have a drop shadow feature within our text currently, but a great way to get around this is it's very similar to what we just did. So I'm going to delete our bottom layer, which is our drop shadow layer, and you'll see that disappeared.
Yeah, why don't you play it one more time, Tyler, just so you can really see the difference.
Okay, so this is without our drop shadow. And I hit Control Z, undo. That's with our drop shadow.
Yeah, it just looks a lot better.
Yeah, so it's a really easy effect. Once again, once we have our title the way we like it, so customize our colors, create something that's easy to see. Let's go with purple maybe. That looks all right. Save the changes. And then very simple, just select our clip, hold Shift, drag into the bottom layer. And if we were doing, you know, a very detailed timeline, we could actually go in and label some of these tracks just so we remember. So this could be our shadow layer.
Nice, nice.
This could be our text layer. All you have to do is click in there, and then it will allow you to edit the name of your track. So that's very useful. We could have named this one Reflection, and then add more tracks just to keep organization. All right, so we've got our two duplicated text layers. Now all we have to do is take this bottom one and go into our Transform tab. So once again, if you're new to WeVideo, the way to get into the editor of any clip is to double click that selected clip or hit this pencil icon right here. That'll open your clip editor. We'll go to the transform tab. Helpful tip, hit this show grid and snap. That's going to allow us to really dial in where we select and put this. Now you can see it looks a little bit confusing. Let's get rid of our grid because it's the same color. So for our drop shadow, all we need to do is select either a black or a gray, something that's going to mimic an actual shadow, right? And then place it where we like. So let's say our light is coming from that upper left corner. This would create a shadow like this. Maybe we want it to be the upper right corner. Let's try that. Boom. That looks pretty nice. And then just save the changes.
And you could also tweak the opacity on that as well, just like we did.
Yeah, let's say we want our shadow to be a little bit lighter. Just click on this opacity icon and drop it to around 50. And that's going to make a little bit lighter of a shadow, which is more realistic.
Yeah. Looks great, though. It's a cool 3D effect.
Yeah, and it really makes the text stand out from our background. If we wanted to change our background out, that's really easy to do. We could even put in some stock media. We've got stars up currently for our next clip, but that would probably work here too.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's drop shadow within WeVideo. Very easy to do and sells our text, makes it easier to see on your viewer. It's a good tool to utilize.
All right, so this next one's probably the most time-consuming of the three.
Yeah, this could be the trickiest one to go over. We're going to show you how to do this. It's a bit of a hack, but it's once you know the trick, it's really easy to do. Okay. So let me show you where I got this text from. We're going to be using our Chroma Key tool. So if you're familiar with green screen and if you tried that in WeVideo, it's the same idea, but we're just using white instead of green. So I went ahead and save this, and I'll go into my other tab here. I've got actually a different text up, but this is the same idea. So to start this effect out, I had our text here, all white, and I clicked finish and exported the video. So first step, just get your text how you like it. Nice, bold, big, and a single color like white is typically a good one. It could be green, it could be red. It doesn't really matter. It's going to achieve the same effect.
So, yeah, I think the important thing to point out is that you need to have the font, the size, and the actual text, what it's saying, all finalized before you export, because after you export, you can't change it.
Yeah, that's great advice. So then within your media tab, you're going to go to your exports. So my exports. You can see here I already had that galaxy text set up. So let's go ahead and delete this, and I'll show you how that was done. So once your export is complete, you're going to drag that exported clip, exported video, I should say, into your timeline here. And that's going to allow us to double click into our editor, click on the Chroma Keying tab, and then just all you have to do is select that color picker and boom. Select the white, and you can see it's created this transparent text for us. We can see through to our layer underneath. We can actually go and change this out to anything we like. And that's going to show through and maintain our animation as well. You can see it sliding in there for us. And that's just a really cool way to create some dynamic text, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see if our other one exported. I'll show you another example. Oh, it's still working on it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
All right, so we've got this clip that we just exported, and we can do the same effect with this one. Media. Sorry, hop around here. My exports. Refresh. Oh, I was having a hard time getting into that folder. So it will take a second just to get into your exports folder. But once it is there, you can apply that same effect that we did to our Galaxy travel text.
Perfect. So one thing we have had quite a few viewers inquire about since we've done this is the blurring effect. So maybe we should just go over that one more time, Tyler, kind of how to put a blur, whether it's blurring a small portion of a video or an entire video.
Definitely. We went over that a little bit last week. It's very easy to do. I'm not sure if it matters what our stock media is. We'll go with the wine. Cheers. Yeah, so the blur effect is very easy. All you're going to do is click into your effects tab. You can see these different effects here, one being blur. So just apply that, and that's going to blur out our whole clip. Last week, I think we had someone ask about creating sort of a sensor over
Yeah, that goes for like a license plate or a credit card number or something.
Right. So to achieve that, we actually used our backgrounds tab, solids, white, and you could transform this to be a blurred sensor, apply that same effect, blur it. Now let's lose our blur on this guy just so we can show you an example. Yeah, so let's say there's some sensitive information over here. You could use that white background, blurred, maybe even drop the opacity a bit, and that creates an area that would be censored. A little too much on
a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah. You get the idea.
Yep.
Depending on what was behind there, you use your best judgment and you get the effect you're looking for. So that's very useful. A lot of times it's hard to find this effects tab here, but there's some great stuff in there if you want to create a vignette, black and white even.
Sepia one's nice.
Yeah. Can create some real thematic looks. You could make the sepia, apply. You a wine guy, Max, or more beer? What's your beverage of choice?
How's the do you want to try and show, is that export in there yet?
Oh yeah, you can check that. Should be. I was having a hard time. Maybe I'm just missing it. Let's do a refresh.
I mean, I suppose what you could do is just download it and then re-upload it.
Yeah, it is in the exports. It just hasn't made it quite yet to our folder. That's fine. just download if you do have an issue with this. And then all you're going to do, back into your edit, in your media tab, I can go to my downloads and just drag that directly into the media folder.
Beautiful.
And then we'll show you once again how to create this effect. So once you've exported your video, this will act as if it's a video clip, allowing us to utilize that Chroma Key feature. So just the one important step when doing this is to remember to export first, because if you were to just drag text in, you can't actually use the Chroma feature here. We're just able to transform, change the colors, fonts, text. You can see here, once we've exported this, that allows me to do this Chroma Key feature.
Yeah.
As well as animate, and I mean, we could even get really creative and actually add a scale to this.
Oh, you could double and yeah.
Yeah. So it could scale in. You could do a lot of different things. We could change the timing of it too. So the point is, we can get really creative with our motion titles, and
after you export them.
Yeah, after you export. So once again, in the Chroma Key tab, just select that white, and you can see our wine clip is now behind. Might not be the best one for this effect. Let's find something else.
You like a lawn or gardening.
Gardening. All right, let's try that. Once again, we're in the stock media tab. So if you have a plan with our essentials library, you'll have access to over 1 million different stock clips. Super useful, especially in a time like this, right? When it's not easy to go out and shoot a lot of things. It's very useful to have at your fingertips some of these assets. So this, I think, will look pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of times for this effect, a good background is a textured, like this, a textured image that fills the whole screen. It really gives us a nice look.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to fill the whole text, and our eyes kind of, like the way that is.
Yeah, like scenic, I guess.
Sure.
From sky.
Yeah, sky images, clouds, maybe like even, let's find some.
Nice.
So yeah, you see that often used in videos, and it's very easy to do in WeVideo. Advanced masked text.
Beautiful. I think that's it for today. As always, if you can't make the live show, feel free to leave your questions, comments in any of our previous videos. We'll get to them and address them in an upcoming show. That was the case for the blurred background today. With that, I think that's a wrap.
All right. Great.
As always, happy creating. We'll see you all next week.
See you guys.